Oh, we're live. How you doing out there? Happy New Year. I say that because I haven't been on the live since last year. So I want to welcome you and I appreciate your time and for being here. Just going to lean in a little bit more on this microphone. So I put out a video this morning or early this afternoon about the intense energies that we're feeling around the globe right now. What we've experienced over the last, I guess it's been 10 months now, seems to be peaking more and more every day. Every week we're seeing something happening, something new. We're experiencing different types of heaviness, right? Heaviness on our relationships, heaviness around our restrictions. And so this is the reality that we're in. And the reason why I wanted to do this live is because I actually had received several messages privately saying that it's not just in the next few days or the next few weeks, they've been experiencing them over the last few months. And and we probably will continue to experience that over the next few months. And it's going to feel like frustration. It's going to feel like we're not in control of our life. There are parts of the world where there is curfew and lockdowns where you can't be outdoors after a certain amount of time. I'm very fortunate to live in a part of the world where it's not as strict. But the point of this video really isn't to talk about Corona and the restrictions, because this event, what we've been experiencing, is only highlighting the state of the union, the state of our collective consciousness right now, or specifically the state of unconsciousness. So if you're just joining me and you are looking forward to changing this, please give me a thumbs up or a heart or a like or something, because I think we are all ready for change here, for things to be a little bit different, right? And so I really wanted to talk about is the conscious collective and our consciousness, what we are paying attention to, what we are tolerating. So right now, everything around this energy can feel very personal. It's the air that's around us, the energy of the people around us. We see things happening in the US, we see things happening around the world, injustices, wrong information. And those of us that have been doing the work, that are looking into doing the work. So if you're following me, you are in the middle of doing that work or just jumping on this journey. So right now, feelings may be heightened. Feelings of frustration, disconnection, confusion. I mean, you name it. As I was mentioning in the video today, there are going to be days where you're going to question everything that's going on, what you've been doing. And I know I went through this as I gained my consciousness in my journey. Is that, and I'm just going to connect my other microphone because I feel like you're going to hear me better. As I went through how does that sound? Can you hear me better? I went through my journey many, many years ago. It felt like a lot of people are describing right now. There is confusion. There is patterns. There are things that are just not in alignment. And the more that we stay in this moment, in this almost this frozen moment in our reality, we are going to experience more and more of that. We're going to feel more and more of that. And that's why things are getting more heightened. We've reached the age of Aquarius, as you heard around in different places, and I don't talk about it much. But I really talk about consciousness and conscious awareness and the energy around that. And the more conscious we are, the more we are in tune with the energies around us, the more we are in tune with how we are handling particular situations, how we see people, how potentially people frustrate us, people in relationship we're with, whether it's a family member or work or with an intimate partner. And so we're saying that relationships are failing. And they have been for a very long time. But I talked about this before. They've been failing well before lockdowns and coronavirus and fake news and all of that. And so right now it's about really embracing where we are and realizing that it's impossible to control everything, as I said in my video. And it is up to us to really do some introspective work, really becoming very conscious of where we are on this journey, understanding that we need to release old habits, we need to release old patterns, we need to release hierarchies and conventions and question everything that's around us. But part of that consciousness really starts to affect our relationships. It starts to improve our relationships just by being conscious of having this conscious awareness of who we are. What are we talking about when it comes to consciousness and awareness around us? So we have this external entity. We have this coronavirus lockdown situation is the external entity that now is challenging us, is challenging our relationships. And that's what it is. That's what's challenging our relationships. And so really it's a foundational tool, isn't it? And this is what conscious awareness is. It's a foundational tool for change. And that's what we need right now is we need change. We need change in our relationships, in how we show up in every part of our life. And it is a tool. It's a tool that for success. It's a tool for taking us to the next level. So it may allow you to be fully present during the day, fully present to yourself and your body. So you're not feeling so disconnected. And the more presence you have, the less you will buy into what's going on out there. And all of the news reports and the fear-based behavior and all of these things that we see around that does actually even affect our personal, intimate relationships with a partner. And obviously a relationship with ourselves. Because as we are together in the same place, and you begin to not be consciously aware of your thoughts, and we operate from the subconscious, which takes up for 95% of our behavior, we will begin to react in very childlike manner. We will stomp our feet because we don't want to be locked down, and that's completely understandable. So there's so much behavior that's associated with being unconscious. And so what right now is what we're experiencing is we are experiencing the unconsciousness of the collective. There is not enough consciousness. There's not enough conscious awareness of our own emotions and of our own emotional states. And we are lacking creating this awareness of being present to ourselves. We're not being present to ourselves, our thoughts, our behaviors, the containers of our life, the people that are in our life. And so, at first, we always like to blame the outside. We always like to blame the other person. But in reality, we have to take responsibility for our current paradigm, our current behavior, and how we show up. And because our subconscious is how we operate 95% of the time, it's all those programs that we've been grown up with. And now they're being disturbed. Everything that we know is changing. It's crossing our boundaries. We're spending a lot more time with our partners. And it's creating this unconsciousness. And I talk about, and this is one of the first things that I talk about, that I will be talking about on my site, my community site that opens on March 1st. Any information on that, go to www.mikefinelli.com or just click on my bio. And in this first month, which is going to begin the month of March, is we're going to talk about conscious awareness. And the benefits of conscious awareness are very evident at this point. It's being present right now. It's being present to yourself, to your body. It impacts your relationships. It allows you to feel in those range of motions. So even in stressful times like this of strong energies, we're able to regulate our emotions. We can connect to part of our humanness, connect to that part of us that higher thought. We're able to regulate the highs and the lows, those emotional points, right? And stay centered. Conscious awareness allows us it gives us those tools to break those patterns, right? To realize that, hey, I'm buying into someone's speech, or I'm buying into someone's viewpoint about whether it's coronavirus or anything that's related into your life. And so what we can start to do is we can start to look at things from a very different perspective. We develop new habits. We start to rewire that part of our brain. And so in the month of March, I will go through in detail how we do that through various practices and various tools. And there's basically two steps, right? We develop that level of consciousness through the different tools that I spoke about. And then we are empowered to make a very different choice, right? We make a very different conscious choice through our conscious awareness. And so we develop these emotions. We begin to develop more awareness about ourselves. But it takes time, right? It takes time. And I think this is where we've all come to realize that all of this stuff takes time. That's why it's called a journey, right? It's not a race. It's not a race to the finish line. You know, I remember feeling these energies weeks ago and just needing to go in and using all the tools that I had to realize that I am not my thought. I'm projecting into the future. I'm thinking about different things that may happen. Am I going to be able to travel again? Am I going to be able to, and then, you know, taking it out on my partner in some way, whether it's an unconscious behavior or a reaction. So this conscious awareness is so important. It is the foundational blueprint, as I mentioned in my video, of these outdated habits that we've developed over time. And they've been highlighted. There's a big spotlight on them now during these times. So part of this is also to be able to communicate to you that there's a level of compassion that's needed. There's a level of self-compassion that we need to give ourselves at these moments. We need to give ourselves these moments of compassion. Because we're going to be with this for a while. In case anyone hasn't noticed, 2021 didn't change anything. Actually, if anything, it made things a little bit worse with all the things that have been happening. So it has nothing to do with the calendar. It has nothing to do with the weeks or the months or the days of the week. It has everything to do with our awareness and what other choices are available to us. So I want to thank you for your attention in this time of overwhelm, of disconnection, of heaviness, because we're gonna feel a little bit more of that. We're gonna feel a little bit more of that heaviness, and that's why this work is so important for the collective, is to begin to get that awareness so we can have more presence. We can have more presence into our body. It allows us to ground us, to go back into our body. That helps us cope with situations. We've lost that tool as we integrated more and more of the matrix, of the rat race of go, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. And we're stepping into a world of more awareness, more consciousness, less 3D, less acquisition and more presence, less materialism and more love. And it's up to us, because it's up to us to change that with our awareness and a different behavior. And it requires patience, one day at a time, one movement at a time. We're very habitual creatures, but we have neuroplasticity. We can learn new patterns. I could go on all day, but I really appreciate your attention and your patience, and just feel into these moments that are coming. Just feel into them. There's going to be more of that, but I assure you that with the work and beginning the journey, we can get through all of this and get to the other side. So again, more information on me, you click on the bio, MikeFinelli.com. If you want to join the community, I will be posting videos like this, definitely more dedicated to the community itself, some exclusive content. And on March 1st, I'm so happy and so proud, on March 1st, I'm going to begin the other side of the site, which is the coaching, the practices, the courses, the webinars that are going to be exclusive to people that join that membership site. Again, I appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the next live. Take care. Thank you.